This is the third module from the chapter Why Democracy. Here we will be discussing a new topic, broader meanings of democracy. 100 years ago, only 25% of the countries in the world had democratic form of government. Now, 100 years later, only 25% of countries in the world do not have democratic governments, which means during the last 100 years, 75% of the countries became democratic. The democratic ideas have been accepted all over the world, and many non-democratic countries have changed into democracies as it is the best form of government. All should be given equal chance to take part in the election process. People should be allowed to express their aspirations freely and contact government without fear. In short, we can say that in the last 100 years, 75% of the countries in the world had become democratic countries, or they have chosen democracy as a form of government. So, just 25% of the world nations are not democratic right now. It's a big success for democracy. So every country they accept democracy as the best form of government because there is no alternative to democracy. Democracy is the best form of government. Here you can see the region-wise development of democratic countries. See, Western Hemisphere, Middle East, East Asia, Eurasia, Saharan Africa, and South Central Asia. The number of countries which have chosen democracies year after year, the number of countries are being increasing. The most common form that democracy takes in our times is that of a representative democracy, which means people choose their representative and they are going to make government for the people. In the countries we call democracy, all the people do not rule. A majority is allowed to take decisions on behalf of all the people. Even the majority does not rule directly. The majority of people rule through their elected representative. This become necessary because modern democracies involve such a large number of people that it is physically impossible for them to sit together and take a collective decision. Even if they could, the citizen does not have the time, the desire, or the skill to take part in all decisions. That is why we choose our representatives and they are going to take all decisions in our name. Finally, they are in power. A democracy will be successful and meaningful when all the adult citizens are getting equal right to take part in election. They should be allowed to go to polling booth and cast their vote without fear or affection. And also a democracy will be very successful or meaningful when large number of people take part in election. Maximum number of people should go to polling booth. They should cast their vote. So a country like India and many democratic countries, in every year the number of people who are going to polling booths are increasing in every elections. So we can say that an election will be successful or meaningful when large number of people go and vote. A democratic decision involves consultation with and consent of all those who are affected by that decision. Those who are not powerful have the same say in taking the decision as those who are powerful. This can apply to a government or a family or any other organization. Thus, democracy is also a principle that can be applied to any sphere of life. An understanding of democracy as an ideal reminds us of why we value democracy. It enables us to judge an existing democracy and identify its weakness. It helps us to distinguish between a minimal democracy and a good democracy. In short, we can say that while taking decisions in democracy, large number of people should be consulted and everyone's opinion should be taken into consideration. And in a democratic country, everyone will not be so powerful. So of course, somebody will be very powerful. So those who are powerful are going to take decisions. They should consult those who are poor, those who are marginalized, extremely poor, and their problems should also be taken into consideration. Democracy is a good idea, and that idea can be applied in any sphere of life, which means that everybody should be given equal chances and equality. So, while looking into the working of democracy, we can identify and say that whether democracy is a good idea or a bad idea, or we can identify the weakness of democracy. So, in democracy, maximum number of people should be given chances to take part in decision making. Democracy will be successful when people extend their hand and they feel that they are united under a single system of government or a single system of function, that is actually democracy. When large number of people participate, they cooperate, when they collaborate and take decisions together for the benefit of the society, we can say the meaning of democracy has been achieved. We just need to note that democracy can apply to many spheres of life and that democracy can take many forms. There can be various ways of taking decisions in a democratic manner as long as the basic principle of consultation on an equal basis is accepted. The most common form of democracy in today's world is rule through people's elected representatives. The fate of the country depends not just on what the rulers do, but mainly on what we as citizens do. This is what distinguishes democracy from other governments. The other forms of governments like monarchy, dictatorship, or one party rule do not require all citizens to take part in politics. In fact, most non democratic governments would like citizens not to take part in politics. But democracy depends on active political participation by all the citizens. So, we can say that people have the right to take part in election, to form political parties, to express their opinion, aspirations, and democratically they can fight with the governments in democracy. In non-democracy, in non-democracy, people do not have these rights.